The reception, as every Juventus name is read out by the public address announcer, gives some indication of the task facing Manchester United this evening. And it's the Juventus side, which includes the man who last weekend left his team 4 points clear at the top of the Italian league. He's Beniamino Vignola, who scored twice against Udinese after coming on as a substitute. There were some doubts about Paolo Rossi, but he's been past fit. Manchester United already without Brian Robson and Arnold Muren. There are two changes from the first leg. Ray Wilkins back after suspension, and Mark Hughes keeping Norman Whiteside on the bench. Firecrackers going off all around the stadium. And there is a deal of smoke among the crowd, and indeed making the pitch look as though the match is about to be played in dense fog. The referee comes from Belgium, Alexis Poney, who refereed England against Spain in the World Cup in Madrid and will be one of the officials at the coming European Championship. A list of the Juventus substitutes, one of whom is a forward. And in the foreground is their coach, Giovanni Trapattoni. Manchester United have some wise heads among their 5 substitutes. Lou McCurry at 15 and Gordon McQueen at 16. But I suppose Norman Whiteside is the most likely one to be used. Ron Atkinson there in the middle of his substitutes, as we look now at Paolo Rossi and Michel Platini. Red smoke billowing around the Manchester United goal. The match gets underway, and it will be up to United to dampen the ardour of this crowd at the earliest possible opportunity. Gary Bailey taking his time. To Duxbury. And here's Ray Wilkins, so much depending upon him. Can he produce the form that he showed last Saturday against Coventry City? Platini, Boniek. Rossi, the only player really forward. Cabrini. Graham starting the match playing on the right side. And if he stays there, that could give an opportunity for Remy Moses to let Platini know that he's about. Frank Stapleton. Wilkins. Stapleton, who played in the Arsenal side, which won here 4 years ago. 4 years tonight, to be precise, in the semi-final of this competition with a very late goal. And they started at 1-1 from the first leg too, like United. Clearance by Brio to nobody in particular. Still very smoky at Bailey's end, and there are 1 or 2 pink flares still smouldering quite brightly. Free kick given for the challenge on McGrath. Albiston. Wilkins. Rossi. Break could be left side, but he's got to play it soon, otherwise he's going to run into trouble, which he does. Duxbury out of the gloom. Hughes got away from his marker for a moment forward. Wilkins inviting Graham Hogg to come forward. Hogg at 19, the youngest player on the pitch. Wilkins, it's a fine game here, playing for England against Belgium in the European Championships 4 years ago. He scored on this ground for his country. Free kick given. It was Vignola who was challenged unfairly, according to the Belgian referee. Platini, Brio, Tardelli, Cabrini. All the Juventus World Cup players are there, except these days Dino Zoff, who has retired. Boniek looks in interesting form. Goalkeeper's mark. Hughes being followed by Gentile, and the free kick given against Gentile. Brio marking Stapleton. Hughes being followed by Gentile, which is a fair compliment. Marked a few great players in his time as Claudio Gentile, literally and otherwise. Duxbury loses to Cabrini. Schirer. Wilkins, much involved in everything right from the start. Arthur Albiston. McGrath to Gentile, and a bit too much use of the arm by Paul McGrath. Vignola. Well, he became very much the hero of the crowd at the weekend. When he came on as substitute, Juventus were 2-1 down to Udinese. He scored twice in the second half. Arthur Graham. Kevin Moran. Stapleton.
Brian, this is John on the main leg up on the gantry.
Hughes, it's a bit short.
To make sure you hear me, this is
Put in by Bonini. Stapleton once again. McGrath. Martini in defence and turning defence to attack. Two forward, Boniek and Rossi. Vignola playing behind those two. Tardelli. Bonini. Tardelli. Not quite such a good clearance that time by Hogg. It's covered by Albiston. Wilkins checking on the position of Bailey. Graham. Wilkins. Schirer's header. Rossi. Loses to Kevin Moran. Incessant drumming to our right. And there are at least half a dozen drums, bass and tenor. Duxbury. A few skins might go if United were to score. Boniek. Platini. Tardelli offering width on the right, number 8. United to pull all back part 2. And they've covered well. Graham. Shaw will be encouraged to run at his man, Cabrini, on that side. That's bounced kindly. Hughes. And not a bad try. Although he didn't actually test Stefano Tacconi. Taken over in goal from the legendary Dino Zoff. Came from Avellino in the summer. Good jump by Moses. Vignola, Bonini, Wilkins. Alveston. Smoke is now almost completely cleared. Good break by Gentile, Vignola. Platini always increases the pulse rate. Oh, and he's set up. Boniek. Well played by Moran. But it was a fine ball by Platini. So there can be no question on the opening that Juventus are planning to hold United. Because a 0-0 draw would be enough for Juventus as they scored an away goal at Old Trafford in the first leg. So far we're having an attacking contest. And let us hope it stays that way. Hughes. And McGrath unable to apply the finishing touch. And that very nearly got away from Tacconi. Seemed to see it a little bit late. It was well struck by Hughes. Wilkins with the first corner. Boniek and Wilkins. Referee plays the advantage. Rossi looked offside to me, but the linesman flag stays down. Must have been very, very tight indeed. Schirer's got forward. Duxbury. Hughes made a good run. Duxbury. Wilkins. McGrath. He's done a good job as a midfield player, being forced into that position by the absence of key players, normally a central defender. Stapleton. And it's a match being played at a British pace. That's the way United wanted it. Platini looking for Rossi. The angle is too tight. In fact, the angle is non-existent. Two front men for United, pulling wide and encouraging the midfield. He used the gap in the middle. Boniek is all over the place. Tardelli. Vignola. Oh, that's a nice little chip. And Rossi, good save by Gary Bailey. Did really well because that was no more than 5 yards away and was well struck. It's a lovely chip in the first place and a good thump and a fine save. Here's the man who created that chance, Vignola. Threatened the shot and his action seemed entirely that of a shot. In fact, he chipped through for Platini. This is a very different Juventus from the one we saw in the European Cup final last year against Hamburg. And here's Boniek, he's got away, and it's in. And the crowd are on their feet. Long ball down the middle. Battle all he could, did Hogg. But Boniek did it one way as Bailey came the other. And the pole hasn't quite done a lap of honour, but it's been close. Flags all around the stadium. A Frenchman congratulates the pole, and the Italians have the lead in the second leg. And their coach, Trapattoni, who won a Cup Winners' Medal with AC Milan, is on his feet as we look again at the goal and how well it was finished. Just 14 minutes on the clock, and Juventus lead in the second leg by 1-0 and on aggregate by 2-1. Hogg. Wilkins. Gentile. Girer. Moses. Hughes. And the crowd singing their version of the Marseillaise, which is at least part, I'm sure, in recognition of Michel Platini. And it was he, of course, who played the ball through for the goal. Who else? Wilkins or Graham with the kick. 5 up for United. Tardelli. Platini. Gentile. Grass. Stapleton. Wilkins. And Gentile was back very quickly. Hogg. Somewhat the orthodox cross. And Boniek is in rare mood indeed. Pole, who's now scored 3 goals in this competition. Only managed 4 in the league. Rossi, referee playing the advantage. Good decision. Up comes Boniek. Oh, push and run cleanly past Duxbury. And Bonini came in. Made all of 20 yards to try to get on the end and didn't quite do so cleanly. It's United playing a team who are matching the enthusiasm of their crowd. Hughes. Like United, Juventus have supporters branches all over their country. And the crowd here in the Stadio Comunale is 71,000. Alveston. Moses. Graham trying to set up Duxbury, who made the run, but now Boniek using the space that Duxbury had left as he came forward. Cabrini. Vignola. Platini. Rare moment of lack of control by the Frenchman. McGrath. He was caught, I think, by Gentile. So they looked daggers at him, and the referee has given the free kick. Paul McGrath, who scored against Coventry on Saturday. Alveston. Ball was out of play. Sondelli was the player we just saw briefly sitting it out in the long jump pit. And he's staying there. In fact, it's Cabrini. No, it's not. I was right first time. It is Sondelli. Peter hurt his leg as he fell. Following Cabrini's habit of not shaving before a game. The absence has now ended. Challenge from behind by Hughes on Bonini. Platini currently in the centre forward position, Gentile on the ball. Is Rossi, the centre forward, in the right wing position. Ball claimed by Hughes. McGrath. Vignola. Forced back by Moses. Gentile. Sondelli. Probably United will hope this spell doesn't last too long, but it does make one wonder why Italians don't play like this more often. Look at that for a through ball, and Bailey having to work hard to recover the ball as it went away from Bonini, but almost arrived at Rossi. Lovely ball through again, and good goalkeeping by Bailey. Finding his best form at his club's hour of need. And he's still feeling the knock, as is Bonini. Thoughtful looking Ron Atkinson. Free kick. Juventus way. Platini has been running the show so far. But he has some very excellent lieutenants. And Vignola gives them an extra quality too. Graham coming back to Mark Cabrini, who'd come forward. Duxbury. Alveston. Hawkins. Duxbury. It's a bit quick, but he did well. Graham. Wilkins. Duxbury. And the goalkeeper rightly taking no chances. (26) Tacconi. Whether he too will survive into his 40s. Tacconi on his feet once more. Wilkins taking all the set pieces. McGrath in the 6-yard box. Hughes on the near post. Moran threatening as well. And some pushing brings a free kick to Juventus. I think the pushing came from Hogg. Chile all over Mark Hughes, but he resisted well. Duxbury. Wilkins. Hughes, good blocking by Gentile, and good determination from Hughes, too much so for the referee's liking. But even so, there are signs that United are beginning to settle. 25 minutes gone. They're a goal behind. But they're looking happier than any previous stage in the match. They wanted to hit Juventus hard at the start, but the would-be biter was, I'm afraid, bit. Tardelli. Bonini. Almost the splits by Boniek. Gentile. Platini. Oh, beautiful. And Boniek to Tardelli, getting men into the middle. The cross comes short or whatever it was supposed to be. It was just, what do I do with it now, really, from Tardelli. There's no danger at all to Bailey. Another fine ball from Platini. Good 25 yards, maybe more. And you've got pace, as Juventus have, from the likes of Rossi and Boniek, and they seem to have pace all over the field. What a weapon there is in either foot of Platini. The Italian football, so much in the mind. And so often they seem to stifle their own abilities because of their questionable temperament. Wilkins. Graham. Got to keep trying. Free kick given against Vignola. A slight knock on the knee, but I don't think anything too serious for Arthur Graham. 5 United players in the area, 4 in line with the far post. Hughes makes the first run right to the edge of the area. Gentile followed him. McGrath gets up. So did Stapleton. And McGrath, in fact, has a problem. Limped away from that clash. Moran, I think, came in from behind. It may well have caught him. The play by Duxbury. Needed to be two. Again, the pass from Platini, and the would-be recipient was Boniek. Halberstam. Duxbury. Graham. Stapleton. Strong challenge by Brio. Boniek. Cabrini with the ball out of play. Captained Italy against Czechoslovakia in his last international, his 50th recently. Obviously 20 more caps to be won. Here's Moses. Stapleton. Drag Brio with him. Bit of space here for Halberstam. Q could come on the far post. Nicely claimed by Sacconi. Tardelli. Rossi was substituted against Udinese, but showing no signs of the knock that he got then. Tardelli. Bonini. Platini. And Moses sticking closely to him. Too much so, says the referee. Tardelli. Give it to Platini, he said. Tardelli. I think Halberstam thought that had nicked off Platini. Could well have been right too. Rossi. Even when he was unbalanced, he was able to make something of it. Cabrini. Good ball from Vignola. Boniek. Boniek working a shooting position, but not finding a shot to match that position. Graham. Moses. Halberstam. Ball back by Boniek and Rossi. For the Italians, Graham coming over to this side. And there's a gap right side, which Hogg saw. But the pass was somewhat square. Wilkins plays the ball and then stays out. Comes for it now. I do feel he's got to take some positions like this sort of area and have that sort of go. It was Platini who came with the challenge. McGrath, Albiston, unlucky Frank Stapleton. Tardelli invited to go back a few more yards. Free kick given against Vignola, who kept a foot in against Graham. The kick quickly taken. Here's Moses, Stapleton. That's probably the worst clearance out of the defence the Italians have made so far. Duxbury. Cabrini came to him, fullback to fullback. Wilkins saw Barbelli in the Juventus half. Graham. Albiston. McGrath. Cabrini, who came across. United keeping the pressure on. McGrath. Stapleton looking, I think, a bit for the challenge from behind. Platini. Rossi. Four-man attack. At the moment, only three defenders. Back again for Rossi. Bailey off his line, takes it well, and then gets the foot in. Reading it well as Gary Bailey. Been very quick off his line tonight. As this shows, half a second later and it would have been too late. McGrath. Graham. Everything left of him. And Duxbury goes the other way. Albiston. Gets a corner. It's part of the appeal for Tardelli. Out for Gentile. Duxbury. McGrath got a flick that could have promised. Stapleton is still down in the middle. Graham. McGrath. And look who's at right back. Paolo Rossi. Cabrini. And Platini is the centre forward. And he got a knock in the face from Kevin Moran, which he's making rather a lot of. Wilkins. Tardelli. Well, the referee's going to have to stop it because Platini is lying down in the area. Giving him time now to get up and get out of there. Can't see any French blood. He certainly felt the knock. Boniek. Platini. Moses to him. Feels for handball, which the referee gives from a position behind Platini, and the linesman who was looking in and facing didn't see, and it gives the Frenchman a chance to complain about the previous knock, or at least to say that he needs attention. I think this is the incident again. No, but it was purely accidental. He was swinging his arm back to make the pass, and Platini ran onto it. Vignola. Halverston, Stapleton. Still feeling the knock on the left ankle, Frank Stapleton. Duxbury. Hogg. Free kick for a push by Stapleton. Vignola. 24, Vignola, so it's not as though he's really a youngster coming into the side. In fact, he's older than the man we just saw there, Bonini, by a year. Halverston. Wilkins. He was a little unlucky, I think, because the ball seemed to be won. Platini takes it very quickly. Whether the ball was moving, I'm not sure. But the referee allows play to continue, and here's Boniek. Duxbury watching. And still. And the header from Rossi, he claims, was turned away by the hand of Hogg. But Duxbury seemed to have Boniek there, and then lost him. There he lost him. No, I don't think there was a hand. Out by Hogg. Tardelli. Platini had moved forward. Wilkins in an interesting position up front. Free kick, and the referee wants words with Gentile, with 5 minutes of the half remaining. I wonder how many referees over the years have had words with Claudio Gentile. And Wilkins took a very forward position, which is encouraging. Vignola. Hughes really couldn't be working harder. Vignola. Hughes and Bonini. Duxbury. Go forward, says Wilkins. Up comes Duxbury. 5 moving into the box. One of them is Wilkins. And Moses in with a strong challenge, which Platini didn't like, and neither did the referee. And in fact, the yellow card is coming out to be shown to Remy Moses. Duxbury lost possession. Moses was committed to the challenge. And he certainly caught Platini, and I don't think the referee had too much choice. Three forward for Juventus. Rossi on the left, Platini in the middle here, and Boniek on the right side. But it's United with Graham. Halverston. Hughes getting his body in front of Gentile, which is good football and quite brave. Graham. Halverston up in the area. Taken by Tardelli. Rossi. Vignola. Didn't need to cut inside. The early ball would have found Platini, who is now here. In spite of the fact that he was covered by two players, the ball was given to him and he made use of it. Boniek. Bonini. 3-0 forward. Graham. McGrath. Worked again by Hughes. Duxbury. Stapleton waiting left of the penalty spot. McGrath in the box as well. Here is Stapleton. Did well to hold it up. Hughes. This time header by Hogg was useful. Wilkins and the crowd apprehensive. Albiston. Hughes driving at it. The United team will not be too dispirited in the dressing room at half-time, I feel. Just 1 minute away, the half-time interval. And the half has got better for them after a blistering start from Juventus. Free kick against Graham. A few words between Cabrini and Graham. Referee steps between, and Gentile will take the free kick. Suggestion is it's some sort of up and under. Don't play too many of those. Wilkins. Plenty of time to turn and carry forward. Hogg. Whistles from the crowd as the clock in the stadium showing that we've gone over 45 minutes. There have been a couple of stoppages for the referee to make note of. Moses. Handball, I think. Free kick's been given anyway. Tardelli. And United, who were down on their knees in the 14th minute when a magnificent start by Juventus produced a goal made by Platini, scored by Boniek, are now back on their feet with increasingly more to say for themselves as the half develops, and feeling, I'm sure, as they go to the dressing room, that they're by no means out of it yet. Half-time, Juventus 1, Manchester United 0, 2-1 to Juventus on aggregate. United now attacking the goal to our right against a side that's been beaten only once on this ground this season and held only once. Juventus looking for their 6th European final. Manchester United looking for their 2nd. Surprising to find that Juventus have only won one of the previous 5, and that was an away goal by Bettiger in the Old Fairs Cup. Here's Rossi. Once again we have the smoke from the right-hand end, but nothing like as thick as at the start of the first half. Alveston. Wilkins. Those two increasingly found positions forward at the end of the half. It's a bit short. It's well claimed by Moran. Once again, that's well shielded by Hughes, who's living well at this level, and we are seeing a match of quality here. Cordelli. Graham. And United find a quick riposte at the start of this second period. Wilkins. Duxbury. And Juventus have everybody behind the ball. Is this a sign of a change of tactics? Pace notice will be different from the start of the contest. Graham. Wilkins. Another disappointing cross. There's Paul McGrath. Stapleton right at the penalty spot. And obstruction given against Gentile. For a moment I think he thought that he'd got a free kick in Juventus' favour, although for what, only he could tell. Six United players poised for runs from right to left, and it was McGrath who got the header. And in fact a free kick given for a bit of pushing in the middle, though not against McGrath. He climbed well, but didn't get power in his header. And he's back in the action again. Hughes. Halverston. Crowd obviously want to see more from their team that they saw in the first 20 minutes in particular of the first half. Rossi. Boniek. Tardelli. Creo. Not the positive attitude of the opening. Ciccone, this is his seventh club. Watched by Hogg. Moses. Wilkins. Duxbury as ever offering himself on the right. Stapleton down the middle. Hughes trying to run his marker. Here's Stapleton. That was a good dummy, but Hughes, for the first time I think in the match, a little bit slow to move onto the ball. Chile. The crowd don't like the change of style from the old lady, as the club is affectionately called. Not a good clearance. Wilkins. Platini. Was he held? The referee allowed the advantage. Here's Rossi. Went very wide of the near post as we look. Good decision by the referee, allowing the play to continue. The first time Platini had been seen in the half. Stapleton. Free kick against Brio given. Stapleton won that a bit. Duxbury with a chance for the cross. Boniek. Platini. To Boniek. Could have gone either way because Tardelli had offered himself on the other side. Cavarini. Tardelli. Schirer, the sweeper. Platini. Tardelli. Threat ball over the face. Platini. Good save again. Crossed it in well, did Bailey. And Platini offered threats all around the area, and it was he who finished with the shot. The goalkeeper held well. Wilkins. Unfortunate. Vignola. Bonini. Duxbury. Hughes making a run right to left. It was out. Saw Norman Whiteside then run through the picture, warming up, one of the 5 substitutes. Graham. Wilkins. Hughes. Done well again. Taking on Gentile. Trying to go through him. And the free kick. Hughes certainly got the leg before the ball. He's shown plenty of aggression against one of the aggressors of the game. Boniek. Wilkins. Duxbury. Then Stapleton comes away from Brio, but Brio went with him. Vignola. Comes to Rossi off Stapleton. To Boniek. Moore and across. Free kick given. Both players at full stretch. And it's being left to Vignola. Platini staying amongst the crowd of players to the right. He's just outside the area. 3 are in it. Rossi will be the first to move. It came much shorter than that to Cabrini. Well, that was an occasion when Graham could have played it earlier. Free kick against Gentile. And a few words from Ron Atkinson against Gentile. And who stood on his feet then. Duxbury. Moses. Cut out by Graham. Duxbury. Platini, 2 on the right. He went for the more difficult ball, finding Boniek. Rossi in the box. Tardelli! Well held again. But anyway, an offside decision given against Rossi. But how many players would have tried for that pass that Platini was made then? Much the more difficult one, curling for the advanced player when there was a player, Tardelli, coming up behind. I would reckon about 98% would have played it to the player coming from behind. Stapleton. Wilkins. Duxbury. Graham. Unlucky, it needed the first time and didn't get enough curl on it, but the man who challenged him was Platini. There he is. Duxbury. Stapleton. Certainly coming away from the middle more. A little awkward for Gentile. Duxbury asking the ball boys to be a bit quicker. The referee blew for that as well. Wilkins. Moses was moving the other way. Two forward for Juventus. Tardelli. Platini. Cabrini left, two forward. Moses going with him all the way, a certain amount of arm linking, gets it inside to Cabrini, who wanted it so much on his left foot. He really cut down the available options. Stapleton. Kevin Moran. Wilkins. Hughes on the run in the inside right position and coming wider. Gentile with him stride for stride. Somebody's lost the shin pad. Goal kick is the end of the move. And the shin pad belongs to Hughes. And he spurns to replace it. Does so on the referee's instruction. Hogg. Moses. Curious challenge by Vignola, which the referee thought was a foul. Certainly the 2 feet were off the ground. Alveston. Graham on the touchline. Stapleton inside. Wilkins. Another encampment in the Juventus half. Tardelli from Platini. Rossi going to the right. Boniek is in the middle. Here's Wilkins for United. Haven't found the sort of variation of attack that Juventus are clearly capable of finding. Cabrini to Boniek. To Platini. Vignola left. Other way is Rossi, but not even he was sufficiently fleet of foot to have caught that. Graham. Rossi. Graham. Only two forward with Graham. And he gets his free kick. He certainly played for that. And Alexis Ponet, in spite of the protests from the Juventus players, which I think are understandable, if not well advised or particularly good from a sporting point of view, are to no avail. Moran forward. Alberston takes. Wilkins. Just a knock away from Bonini. Free kick against McGrath for turning his man. United want to make a substitution. Frank Stapleton, the player to come off. And he's replaced by Norman Whiteside. 18 minutes of the second half gone. Juventus lead by the only goal in the second leg. It's good enough to give them a 2-1 aggregate lead. And United have made the first of two allowed substitutions. Wilkins is lucky to get away with that. Moses. Hogg. Graham. And Whiteside, but he pushed his man. And in fact, it wasn't Whiteside, it was Hughes, the number 10, Mark Hughes. Whiteside, the substitute, wearing 12. Gentile. And for all their spells of marked superiority, Juventus have by no means won this game yet. United must be increasingly feeling well they can get back into it. Here's Platini. Has turned it once and is always capable of turning it again. Cabrini. Boniek. And Platini unable to take it. The whistle had gone anyway for a push in the middle. Perhaps why Platini pulled out of the receipt of the ball. And the crowd, Juve, has a lack of a ring of confidence about it. Send it for Hughes. Platini. Tardelli. Another loping stride of his. Rossi, Boniek is in the middle. Bailey comes to claim, and Duxbury takes it away from him. Well, what the fullback did worked. Bit of pulling by Boniek. Wilkins. Good recovery by Cabrini. Whiteside putting himself about, but to no great purpose at the moment. Vignola. And here's Bonini. Hogg needs this one. Platini. Rossi is forward. Up comes Bonini. Good challenge. And Hogg rescued the position that he had himself created by not winning the ball in the air. Sergio Brio has come forward for the corner. Volume increases and then suddenly dies. Whiteside who got it away. And here's Rossi! What a good save! Brilliant save by Bailey. And they just didn't pick him up, the little fellow, as he came through. Platini again. Almost nonchalant without looking, and the header was well directed, and the save was a fine one indeed. And Gary Bailey, who's had his critics, had one or two moments to forget during the course of the season, has really shown what quality he can offer here this evening. And Brio was backing into him. Out again by Whiteside. This is Bonini. Brio. Hogg staying with him. And appeal by Cabrini for something more than a corner. Well, presumably he felt that Hogg pushed Brio in the back. Half a case, to be truthful. Brio still up just outside the 6-yard box. Bonini. Platini. And he finds Rossi as if by instinct. Cabrini! Fine strike, but he was leaning slightly back, and as a result it went up. But the way that Platini found Rossi without looking, first time shot, but the balance was not as he would have liked. Alberston for United. And thanks to Bailey, are still in business. One goal to take the contest into extra time. Cabrini managed 3 goals in the league competition this season. Moran, Whiteside. Of improvisation by Duxbury, which was effective. Hughes has to do the same. Oof. Alveston. Graham. Whiteside in the middle. So is McGrath. Took a long time to turn. Whiteside! 20 minutes left, and Whiteside has made it 1-1. McGrath taking his time to turn, got a little bit of luck with the ricochet, and Whiteside hit in a tremendous left foot shot, which I doubt if Sacconi saw. And what has always been there, albeit with a little bit of hope, has now come true. 1-1. And Whiteside, the man left out on Saturday when Mark Hughes came in and scored twice, comes on as a substitute in this semi-final of the European Cup Winners' Cup and scores a vital goal. Here's Duxbury for United. Wilkins. I wondered if they'd give a touch to Bailey, because the save a few moments ago looks even better now. And the crowd trying to lift their team again. Wilkins, team who frankly looked in a different league at the start of the contest. Whiteside was a push on Brio. Platini, Tardelli, Platini, United with everyone back other than Mark Hughes. Platini looking to get on the end of that. Top scorer he is in the Italian league with 19 goals, just one ahead of Zico. Whiteside, Bonini, Boniek, Platini. He was looking for that and stumbled over the ball, surely. It's outside the box. And United complaining, trying to take it with him. He may well have been caught earlier on, but I think at the time that he fell, he had actually lost control of the ball. But he's got his free kick from a central position. This is his first opportunity. And United have put 6 players into the wall. Oh, Danny Bailey would have watched the free kick against England, but he's going to try and go round the wall, and there was too much of the wall there. And by Platini's standards, a very ordinary free kick. Wilkins, Alveston, McGrath, Platini, players either side. Tardelli right looks the better one, but Platini going all alone and looking for the penalty. But it's outside. But he's teasing them and teasing them. It's Platini. He was pushed a bit there by Moses. Look at the pace of the man as he's challenged by Hogg as well. But the free kick is outside the box. And a few hearts must have been in their mouths on the bench then when they heard the referee's whistle as to where he felt the incident had taken place. Just over 15 minutes left. Another chance for Platini. Another big wall. Not quite as big as last time, though. Platini to take. And the ball is comfortably claimed. Whiteside. Oh, well played by Hughes. And the referee is going to book Gentile. And one has said it many, many times, not the 4th time. The man justifies his nickname of the assassin. And Ron Atkinson, Manchester United manager, got to his feet to applaud the Belgian referee. And I imagine his comment was not unlike mine, although perhaps slightly warmer. Moses, well taken from Whiteside. Cabrini. Oh, that's a bad clearance. Duxbury. McGrath! Just couldn't really direct any power on the header. Man who scored against Coventry, although it was not, as was said by this commentator, his first goal in senior football. He had scored last season. McGrath. Referee's given the free kick to Juventus, I think. No, he hasn't. Just the throw. Wilkins. Moses. Duxbury. Whiteside and Brio. Free kick against Hogg. Martini. Rossi. Forced away by McGrath. Shidea. But it's much more static than we saw earlier. Striped shirts at the start were a blur. Whiteside. And he worked his position. And the substitution going to be made. It's Sardelli who is going to come off. And the player who played at Old Trafford, Claudio Prandelli, is going to come on.
Attenzione, la Juventus sostituisce il numero 8 Sardelli con il numero 15 Prandelli.
And Sardelli, in fact, limping away behind the goal to our right. Looking a rather sorry figure. Panini. Vignola. Been much quieter in this half. Cabrini. Bonini. Shidea. Played by Graham. Whiteside. Martini looks up, sees Rossi, but it's too long. Bonini. Martini, well reached by Moran. Martini. Handball. And again, a central free kick, and we are 10 minutes, a little under now, away from extra time. Each leg, 1-1 at Old Trafford and here. Where he's taking the kick, or placing the ball for the kick, slightly further back. Might in fact be a bit of an advantage. Martini on the left. Maybe a strike instead from Boniek, and it is. Good save! And how well he held it. That was real class then from Bailey. Truly struck shot. Brilliant catch. Vignola. Gentile. Shidea. Rossi. Prandelli. It was out. And increasing complaints from both spectators and Italian players. United just happy to get on with it. Duxbury. Right side, left flattened by Brio. And forced the error. Well played by Duxbury, and here's Wilkins. Hughes running diagonally across the box. Couldn't get away from Gentile, however much he twisted and turned. Albiston. A fine match of a number of contrasts. It deserves a winner in a normal way. Just couldn't get enough height on it, Hughes, to find McGrath. Extra time so often produces winning goals born of fatigue, and a penalty competition is a lottery, only marginally better than throwing a coin. Boniek to Platini, Boniek again. Duxbury. Moran. Albiston. Wilkins. Duxbury. Cabrini to him. Whiteside. Brio to him. Whiteside once more. Woof. Play on, says the referee. And the free kick given against Platini. Argument with Moses, who adjusts his shirt. Wilkins takes it. Here's Whiteside trying to turn. Duxbury. And the goalkeeper having to turn over from Hughes and McGrath together. A lot of good work again then by Whiteside. And the defenders were backing away to try and meet the challenge coming in behind them. One first by Hogg, clear push by Moses. Five minutes left. 1-1 the score here, 2-2 on aggregate. Crowd encouraging their team with a last burst of the lungs. Can't see a flag flying in the stadium other than three on the far side which are on poles. Graham. United showing the greater belief. Wilkins. Albiston. Too strong for Whiteside. Hogg. Did well. Wilkins. McGrath. There was a player wide on the right. Once again, it's Duxbury. Everything left of him. Four players up. The cross is too strong. Bit of leaning on by Rossi. 3.5 minutes of the normal 90 minutes remaining. Hughes, Moses had to adjust his stride a bit. Graham. Moses. Well met by Gentile. McGrath. Out by Shirea. Forward for Boniek by Platini, another good save. He timed it superbly, and Platini in the centre circle puts his head in his hands. Couldn't have made that more perfect for Boniek, but Bailey was so quick, and Boniek stays down in the area, as does another United player. Halberstam. Offside against Hughes. And it's Kevin Moran who needs the attention. Player who's been more in the wars than most. Moran makes a quick recovery. 2 minutes left. Substitutes from either side warming up, preparing for extra time. Hughes took a little grab at Gentile. Shirea with the kick. Gets it back rather quicker than he wanted from Bonini. Gentile, go forward, he says. And back where they started. Vignola. Shirea. Vignola. He's come back again though. Boniek playing possession football, which isn't too much use at this stage of the game. Brio. Crowd looking at the clock. Sees it tick to a minute remaining. Rossi. Vignola. Free kick. Nothing needlessly given away by Duxbury. Boniek on the far side. So is Platini, so is Prandelli, so is Brio. And Shirea thinks about it as well. Just Gentile and Hughes left forward. Shirea, and still Shirea. Got a deflection, and here's Rossi! Oh, how cruel! Just seconds remaining, 45 on the clock. Shirea worked well here, but the ball was deflected clear to Rossi. Bailey did all that he could, but Rossi, the hero of the World Cup success, has surely taken Juventus through to the Cup Winners' Cup final. Shirea worked it well, but that's where all the luck came, surely. Or did it come off Boniek? But anyway, the ricochet was friendly for Rossi. The clock has ticked over the time. It's now what Mr. Bonnet has left on his watch for stoppages. United have a corner. And the referee waving people away from behind the goal. Trapattoni whistling in his own style. 1 or 2 crackers going off. Vignola surely not 10 yards. Hogg is forward. Whiteside, surely that wasn't 10 yards away. The referee's going to have it taken again. He may well have given it for handball, but it doesn't really matter what he's given it for. United deserving of another chance. No, he's going to have the corner taken again. Still questionable whether Vignola is 10 yards. And the whistle goes for some pushing as fireworks explode in the area. The lights flash green and the contest in favor of Juventus. The crowd can't wait for the final whistle. And United, who pulled themselves back into the game that seemed to be running away from them, in the end are beaten in the dying seconds. From a goal by Rossi, the ball deflected to him and putting him clear, and Bailey, who had been a hero for United, that time could not save them. The flags, which have been put away, are now being waved all around the stadium, and the side which went to the European Cup final last year, and when they arrived in Athens forgot how to play, this time go to the final of the Cup Winners' Cup in Basel. They have beaten Manchester United, for all United's buck, by 2-1 in the second leg here in Turin.
Staunton and Townsend together. Staunton, it's there! And Stevens